Good morning, 8th graders. Welcome to your social studies review for KPREP. We are calling this the atomic bomb of social studies reviews because it's going to include a review of both 7th and 6th grade social studies, which you will be assessed on KPREP next week. If you look at the image here, you have an image of an atomic bomb dropping on both Nagasaki and Hiroshima. Those two bombs were dropped at the end of World War II as a way to push Japan out of the war. So we call this the atomic bomb of social studies reviews because we are about to bombard you with knowledge. So please make sure that you have your review packet. Remember, you will be receiving a grade for this review packet in your social studies class. So you need to make sure that you are following along and taking notes. It will feel like you need to stop the video at some points. If you ask your teacher, they might be able to stop for you. Okay? Anybody have any questions? Teachers, help them out? Nope. Let's get started. So the first topic we're going to review today is geography. Geography is the study of the earth and the way that people work on it. Geographers use 5 themes to help explain what a place is like and why it is like that. So we're going to review the 5 themes first. The first of those 5 themes, location. Location can be absolute or relative. Absolute location refers to the exact location of a place on the earth. And in order to figure out what the exact location is, we use longitude and latitude. Longitude are the long up and down vertical lines that run east to west around the earth. Latitude are the long horizontal lines that go north to south on the earth. Okay? That can be broken down into smaller units called minutes and, you guessed it, seconds, so that you can find an exact place. A relative location means that something is relatively close to something else, and that's how you would describe it. For example, here it says Frankfurt is 50 miles east of Louisville. Another way is by me trying to describe how you get somewhere in Shelbyville. For example, if I were to say, well, where is Firefresh? I don't know. I would probably say that it's right next to Walmart. If you go to Walmart and you are looking at Walmart and you take a right, then Firefresh is going to be in the small strip mall right there. That would be a relative location. The next theme of geography is place. Place talks about how places are similar or different in relationship to its physical geography. So, is the geography of one place similar to another place, and how do they basically create similar cultures? So even if they're far apart, they might have similar cultures because they have similar geography. Human-environment interaction refers to the way that we adapt to climate and geology, the way that we use land, the way that we change land, the way that we use energy, and the way that we interact with people and the events that we have that, again, interact with the environment around us. The environment can also interact with humans. The way that the environment is affects the decisions that we make and our choices and how we live. Hope that makes sense. So it is a relationship that goes 2 ways. We interact with the environment environment interacts with us. Couldn't get that out. Sorry. The next theme is movement. And movement refers to the movement of people, goods, and ideas. So the idea of the iPhone is not just in America, right? The iPhone is everywhere. That's not a good idea. That's a good, right? People can move. I'm going to Egypt this summer. I know I keep talking about it. But that would be an example of people moving. Ideas can move as well. For example, the Enlightenment, right? The Enlightenment was not in one place. The Enlightenment and the ideas surrounding science that came out of it were able to spread from one place to the other. The idea of democracy. Democracy is not just in America. We have democracies all across America. all across the world, and that idea has moved. So that would be an example of a movement idea. I don't know what I just said. It's fine. You get the gist. The next theme is regions. Regions refer to an area with common geographic and cultural features that set it apart from other areas. There are several different regions all across the world that you need to know of. The first region would include the United States and Canada. Culturally, we're pretty similar. If you go to Canada, it's not going to be too different from America. That is, unless you go to one of the French-speaking parts. The next region is Latin America, which is made up of all of South America, all of Central America, Mexico, and the Latin islands that surround them. You also have Western Europe, which would include places like Sweden, France, the United Kingdom. The Europe a lot of people think of automatically. But then there's also an Eastern Europe, which kind of is culturally similar with Northern Asia. That would include other places that we don't usually think of when we think about Europe, like the Ukraine and Romania. The Middle East and Northern Africa are also very culturally similar, so this would include places like Saudi Arabia, Iran, Egypt, Libya. And then you have Sub-Saharan Africa as a region. So that would include all of the rest of Africa that's not necessarily in the Sahara Desert portion, or it is in the lower Sahara. Then you have Southern and Eastern Asia, which would include places like China and Japan and India. And then you finally have Oceania. Oceania would include like Australia, New Zealand, and all of the little tiny islands that surround that area. So that is, oh, we got one more thing, sorry. When you're looking at a map, you need to be able to read a map. There are different parts of a map that help you kind of figure out things. For example, the compass rose tells you where north, east, south, and west is. If you don't remember the order, think never eat soggy waffles. That's how I remember. And then anything in between. So between north and east, this point here would be the northeast, obviously. Also on a map, you would find a scale. Scales can help you figure out, like if you have a really, really small map, how many miles would 1 inch on that map represent? So is it like 10,000 miles in that 1 inch, right? So the scale helps you figure out how to read the map as well. So that is our geography review. Hope you have all your notes written down. Remember, that is for a grade. Have a great day.